going on, all my gamers, all my Honkai Star Rail gamers? So, I really want to talk about the 2.4 story, kind of give my thoughts about it. Now, this will be going into spoilers because I will be talking about, just pretty much going through the points of the story and talking about how I feel about them. Of course, this is not a Trailblazer main story. This is a Trailblazer continuation story, so it will be shorter. Also, I guess it means it's not really interrupting the main story, but it is a pretty fun story. I liked it. I don't know if people were I don't know if people didn't like the way that some of the dynamics and the characters worked and some of the designs of the characters, which I did hear a lot of complaints about that, but I want to get into it. So it obviously starts off with you having to go back to the Lofu because that's where the story starts, and you meet up with Yang Qing. Now, once you meet up with Yang Qing, there is a fight amongst some werewolf people that break out. They're pretty much the mortal enemies of the Foxians, the Fox people and stuff like that. And it is stopped by Yun Li, who comes in and just slams down her sword on someone. Oh, there she is. Boom. It's Yun Li. Look at her. She's small. Chat. Tiny. Smallge.
Thanks for the help.
Fun-sized, if you will.
Sorry, no time to chat.
Think big, but then not. And it pretty much kills the guy. And she runs off with Yang Qing's sword, which that is going to start off pretty much the rest of the story. And something that comes back a lot. So once Yang Qing is like, man, give me back my sword, but nothing happens, Yun Li runs off, and we go to the whatever room and meet up with Jing Yuan. Now, I don't know what was it about the Jing Yuan performance. I don't know why Sayu sounded so pissed throughout the story. I'm just like, man, that's okay. I felt like I was getting yelled at the whole time, but of course, we love Sayu in this house. We are a big Sayu fan. We are a Sayu enjoyer, a Sayu liker, if you will. And you meet one of the generals, and with that, you find out that the general has a granddaughter who is, in fact, Yun Li. And she comes into the room where you are with Yang Qing, so there starts off another another argument, which I thought was funny. In my opinion, I think it's funny. Me and chat the whole time, we're just joking about this is how their love story is going to start. The classic fight, the rivals to lovers chat. I said that they were going to end up like Chi-Chi and Goku, where they're going to go into the tournament and they're going to fight and they're going to fall in love. But they actually had a different plan where they didn't enter the tournament of a martial arts tournament, which is going on the Lofu. In fact, they instead get changed to teachers, and of course they have to teach our favorite girl failure. They have to teach March 7th, and that is how that whole March hunt thing happens, if in case you didn't play for it. But from there you meet with another person on the Lofu. They are being interrogated because they're trying to sneak something on board, which comes into play later. And as that is going on, you meet another character named Ling Sha. Now, I feel like people aren't really on board with how she looks. I heard some complaints about her design. To be completely honest, I hear a lot of complaints on the Lofu specific designs. Like, people are calling them 3 stars and 4 stars. They look like NPC. No, you're not going to get any complaints with me when it comes to Zhao Cho. I definitely think Zhao Cho looks like a NPC. In fact, I'm pretty sure someone had a picture of him as an NPC. In my opinion, I think Ling Sha kind of looks like an upgraded version of Ting Yun, but either way, I'm still a fan of her design. Her whole hand thing is really cool. She's a manipulator. Chat, I would let her manipulate me. Don't look at me like that. It's not weird. Chat, stop looking at me. It's not weird. I promise. It's kind of weird, but still. From there, you meet up with Yun Li again, and in that moment, they get into another fight, which Yang Qing and Yun Li actually start fighting, and it is interrupted with probably the best scene I've seen in a while. Catch you, stupid bitch. Boom. I'm glad she has some safety shorts under her dress if she's gonna be running a. What the hell? Oh, mother. Feixiao. Bro, chat, brother, gamer, bring it in. Chat, I cannot explain to you how much I love Feixiao. She is just, chat, we love older Foxian women. We love Fox women, and we love them better when they're older. Chat, they age like fine wine, and just like Yukong, Feixiao is no exception. Feixiao stops the matches in like the most badass way possible. You find out she's actually on the Lofu because she is feeling sick. You don't really know why. It's not really explained in this one, right? Now, this is where the story will start to take a turn, because when they're on the Lofu, when Feixiao shows up, Jiao Qi shows up, and he ends up interrupting March's training with Yun Li and Yang Qing there. And from there, they go on to one of the star skips where the tournament is going to be held, and they find some NPC characters that are, in fact, up to no good. And this is where it turns into the prison break part. Now, of course, I was talking about the werewolf people. It turns out they have a plot to get their big werewolf guy and get him out, who is insane. It sounds like fucking Doomsday, where they're like, yeah, we have this guy in prison until the end of time. They're like, it's insane. Like, I'm pretty sure there's like a story where Superman has to take Doomsday to the end of known time to kill him, and that is what they're doing to this guy, Hu Li. Now, a lot of this starts getting into a yap fest. Of course, if you have complaints about Yap Fest, this is where your complaints are going to be. Up until this point, until the halfway point, well, it's more of like the last third, it is flowing very, very well. I think the story flows very well in this. It has a lot of comedic timing and stuff like that. I had a great time up until this point. Now, Jiao Cho, until you get his motives later, just seems like he comes out of nowhere and starts berating some kids and giving them some weird lectures and stuff like that. It seems really weird and out of place. Now, you find out later, sure, it makes sense. At the time, I'm just like, bro, you're acting super weird. Get the hell out of here. But, you know, a little bit later, we get into the prison break story. And, you know, you find Jiao Cho in there, and you find Mose as they try to stop the people who are trying to, you know, cause the prison break for the wolf people. I completely forgot. The Borison. There we go. The Borison. I couldn't think of the name. The Borison are trying to escape with Hu Li. And this is where it is probably the most brutal scene I have ever seen in Honkai Star Rail, or most of these gacha games. Not Nikkei. Nikkei is more depressing than that. But Hu Li escapes, of course, and during this time, Jue Yi, who is one of the judges, took Jiao Cho and Mose into the prison. At that time, when the guy escapes, Jue Yi tried to hold the line and be her last line of defense. But since this guy is basically Doomsday level of like crazy, he grabs her and smashes her and kills her. It is kind of brutal how he smashes her in her hands. And I guess they get away with this because she is not mortal. She is basically a spirit that will be reborn back into, I don't remember what part of the Lofu. She is basically stuck there for eternity to protect the place because she is one of the judges. So her dying literally means nothing. She literally just moves her soul to like a little crane bird thing. And all that brutalness was basically for nothing. It was a cool scene. Don't get me wrong. I was just like, holy shit. And I knew it was coming. And I was still left in shock at how brutal it was. But of course, I guess just because it had no real consequences, they're just like, all right, kill her, smash her in his hand. And from there, of course, it comes the cliffhanger. You know, you get to the end of that story. That is pretty much the end of the first half. I guess because of the next half, where who's the banner for next half? Lingsha and Feixiao. They leave it off on a cliffhanger. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed the first two halves of the story up until the part where it gets serious. You know, of course, it just seemed like a run-of-the-mill story where everything was just going great and going happy. And I really like that because I thought it was just gonna be like a feel-good story, you know, Will Yun Li and Yang Qing get together? Will they not? Young love chat, you love to see it, but then it just takes a turn. I guess you can't be anywhere without the stakes getting raised higher. It is what it is, chat. I personally liked it. Chao Cho's part was a little bit weird up until you find out where he is. And I wanted to talk about how people are not really happy, or at least from what I've seen, with these new characters coming out from the Lo Fu. Me personally, I love the way that they look, especially Feixiao. Chat, she does things, chat. She is, especially in this story, she is great. She's straightforward. She's no nonsense. She's the kind of woman I love. And she's a real badass, chat. I love all the badass women in this game. There seems to be a lot of them. But I do agree with Jiao Cho. Jiao Cho, in fact, looks like a pretty much like a 3-star. He looks like an NPC. I mean, his ult is cool. You know, you love me some hot pot, chat. Chat, y'all want to go to hot pot? Chat, yo, everybody in this, if you're watching this video right now, yo, get ready. We're going to hot pot. We're all going to hot pot together, chat. And Ling Sha is more of, she's kind of 50-50 for me. I really liked her in the story, so I probably will be getting her either way. I think she's a healer. I think she should be like, I'm trying to power creep on Gallagher, but I can't really tell you how good she's going to be up until she comes out. Anyways, as far as the story goes, I'm glad that it is shorter and not 8 hours long. Although it might have only been 2.5 hours long up until the end where they really started talking and all this shit goes to hell. You know, it all goes to hell. I thought it took a weird turn, but, you know, we need some high stakes apparently. And not just regular high stakes. I mean like doomsday high stakes. Anyways, that was it. I enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it, chat? Are you a fan of Feixiao like me? Are you not a fan of Chao Cho's design like me? I think the character's okay, but, you know, his design could have been better. Anyways, chat, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will catch you gamers in the next one. Bye.